Bonjour, bonjour tout le monde. Hello, everyone. Can everyone hear me? If you can see me or you can hear me, just put something on the chat. Let me see your reaction on the chat. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay, fantastic. Yes. So it's important we do this. 30 years, 40 years ago, who would have imagined that we would have a physical event, a successful event, without necessarily being around physically. By the help of technology, look at where we are today. And looking at the trends, there are more surprises in the future. The best thing for us is to embrace time as a friend and work patiently towards the future. I want to use this opportunity to thank people for joining early. I realize a lot of people joined early. I want to use the opportunity to thank everyone, and I appreciate you all. Okay, so as I see a lot of reactions on the chat, then it means I'm visible, I'm audible, so we can start. Okay, so our theme for today is merging up your operations with Cloud ERP. In order to make this session very, very seamless, you and I have a better experience. There are certain housekeeping rules we want to adhere to so that each and everyone can have a successful webinar. So to begin with, all participants have their microphone muted. If you have a question or if there is any area you want further clarification, just put it on the chat. My team of experts, my team with experts knowledge will just attend to it. If you shouldn't worry as well, because the recording for this session will be given to each and every one. Yes, and so no one will miss any information that's recorded. Also, at the end of the webinar, we will share a form. We want to know your feedback on how you fared towards this webinar. Okay. So my name is Kwesi Poli. I work as an accounts manager for Digitank Technologies. I have with me Finn Olajide and Stanley Okram. These are subject matter experts when it comes to today's topic for discussion. So I want to admonish each and everyone. I wouldn't want you to have a lot of distractions. I want you to give your 100% attention to this skilled resource personnel, because a lot of information will be given out that will go a long way to help each and everyone. So I want to know where each and everyone is located. Just put your location on the chat. I'm from Ghana, so just put your location on the chat. Let me see where my audience are connecting to. All right. So to make this webinar very, very concise, there are certain housekeeping rules we want to keep. To begin with, we'll start with an introduction of the company. We'll give an overview of the session. Also, we will have a session when it comes to an intelligent enterprise. Then we'll talk about we experiencing the power of Cloud ERP. And we'll talk a bit about industry analysis. Then we'll take your questions. Then we'll take your answers. I still see a lot of people joining. I want to welcome you. I'm very, very optimistic that this will be a very, very, very positive session for each and every one of us. Okay. So I believe you all agree with me that technology and globalization is gradually shaping our world today. Unfortunately, in our part of the world, there's a bit of difficulty in acclimatizing to this phenomenon. However, we at Digitank, We help clients digitize, and we also help clients transform digitally. One of the key success, or we take pride in saying that we have developed a lot of skill when it comes to translating pain points into solutions that will exceed customers' expectations. And so we have built specialization when it comes to business application and automation, protection assurance, IT risk and compliance, and intelligent solutions deployment. Intelligent solutions deployment. The key or the backbone of our success has always been with winning with our customers, building the capacity of our customers. And so we are never transactional when it comes to our dealings. We believe that if your capacity is not built, then why do you invest in the solutions? And we also want you to get a higher returns on the investment you have made in our solutions. And so there is a hand-holding session right from the beginning to the end, build capacity and give you the technical know-how on the various solutions you have invested from us. And so in order to give you a better customer experience, these are partners we work with. We work with SAP for your automation, process automation. We work with Fortinet. So we believe as you have a sophisticated IT, there is a need for you to protect your environment. And so Fortinet gives us that luxury. We work with Dell, we work with Oracle, we work with Palo Alto, and we work with VMware and AWS as well. So we take pride in saying that we have footprints in Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, and we are looking at spreading our tentacles to Gambia, Sierra Leone, and Liberia by the end of the year. And so I have a quick question for you. Let me get your reaction on the chats. What do you think when it comes to Africa, when it comes to our technology? Do you think we have exhausted our capacity when it comes to technology? Or you think there is still potential? Let me know your concerns on the chats. My colleague Stanley will give further in-depth when it comes to this subject matter as we dwell in the potential of Africa. Stanley, over to you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Stanley Okran. I'm a Cloud ERP consultant. And without further ado, let's get started. So, in Africa, many businesses are still working with their homegrown legacy systems or still making use of manual processes. Now, what I mean by legacy systems or manual processes in general is, at the beginning of a business, let's say, a solution was found and that solution was used in the business. That solution worked. And because it worked, the business decided to stick with that solution going forward. That is not a bad thing. Some businesses still use paperback in their business processes. That is also not a bad thing, but it's a thing of the past. We are now in the age of technology where our business landscape has changed because technology has become a major driver in our success. It's now not the only thing to focus on to do business, including technology, but we need to use technology to do our business efficiently, to solve our business needs holistically as well. Now, because of the way business has been done previously in the past, some problems have come up in today's age where technology is a major driver in our success. Let's discuss some of these problems. We have the very first, which is outdated processes. Yes, outdated processes. Some of the ways that some businesses have been in operation in the past to date are very outdated and not efficient at all. This leads to many other problems, one especially being numerous unintegrated systems. So we have a business that has many departments. For example, we have Department A, which might be HR. We have Department B, which might be operations. Both departments are making use of separate software solutions. Now, should you need any information from both departments that needs some sort of collaboration from them, you are going to run into an issue where you need someone who is conversant in the system HR is using to present you that information. You need someone who's conversant in whatever solution operations is using to bring you that information. This is a huge problem, and it also leads into another problem, which is inconsistencies and duplication of data. Both departments keep their own stores of data, which is a very bad practice. Should you need data from HR and data from operations, information that would usually be in one data store, HR presents that information to you, operations presents that information to you. You now have to make sure that the information both departments presented is accurate. And you need to make sure that they are not duplicated. This is a waste of storage as well. This leads to another issue, which is reduced business agility due to inability to access accurate information quickly. Assume you are in a managerial position, you need to make a business decision. You require information from two other departments. Let's use HR and operations, for example. You need information from HR and then you need information from operations before you are able to make a decision. They now have to present data from their separate systems that they make use of. Once that data gets to you, you now have to make sure that data is accurate before you make your decision. This is a waste of time. And this is especially bad in today's age where time wasted is directly tied to revenue loss. This also presents us with another problem, which is a lack of real-time visibility into company-wide operations. As someone in a managerial position, you need to be aware of what is happening in your business at all times. You need to be aware of who is doing what, who is responsible for what, and if that responsibility is being taken care of. Sometimes this needs to be done daily, this needs to be done quarterly, or even yearly. As long as you are not aware of what is happening in your business, there are problems that will occur because of it. We have another problem, which is tedious audit processes. Now, we all know that auditing is important for a business because it's a way of verifying that your operational and financial data are accurate and compliant and meet the regulations of your country. Now, this does not only apply to external audits, it also applies to internal audits. Who is doing what in your business? You need to be able to verify who is causing any sort of damage or who is doing the right thing so that you can even reward them. This ties directly to revenue leakages as another problem. Let's use a company that has a retail outlet for an example. Some of your employees are authorized to provide discounts to customers. How are these discounts being kept track of? What if an employee that's not authorized to offer a discount is offering discounts? How are you keeping track of this? You might be losing money through these discounts that are being provided and you wouldn't know because your data is being managed inefficiently. We also have a lack of cooperation between departments. As I mentioned earlier, take HR, take operations. Both departments use their own separate software solutions. Should a situation arise where they both need to collaborate on something, there's going to be a critical lack of collaboration. Their own system is different from HR's own system, and it's going to impact the way they communicate with each other. That brings us to the last but not the least problem, which is a fear of change. Now, whenever any kind of solution is proposed that is supposed to bring about great change into a business or great advantage to a business, it is always met with some pushback. Your employees might be afraid that this solution would rob them of their jobs. You might be afraid of how long it will take to train your employees to make use of the system. You might be met with some kind of pushback from people who feel that the solution is going to prevent them from doing some activities that they were not allowed to do. Most of the time, these problems occur due to the way businesses were running in the past. We are now in the future where technology is a major driver. So we need to adapt, we need to change, find more efficient ways of using technology to solve our business needs. Now, let's discuss some of the possibilities for the African markets. In the last decade, Africa has made several strides into the future. We have made great changes into the way we operate. We have incorporated technology into most of how we do our business. However, most of Africa's businesses have yet to accept digital transformation. They have yet to fully incorporate it into the way that they do things. Now in Africa, small and medium enterprises make up most of our markets. So if we are going to make sure that they are making use of technology the right way, we need to focus on the makeup of these businesses before we decide on how to pitch solutions to them or solutions that are good and better for them. Now, there's a quote by Richard Branson that says, business opportunities are like buses. There's always another one coming. Now, imagine you're in the unique position, or your business is in the unique position that whenever there's a change in the way business is occurring, your company is ready to adapt to that change. What does this mean? Your company or your business is never going to be left behind. It will always be ahead or with the times. Now, while you ponder on this, my colleague Fien will take you through what we have left for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Stanley. Thank you everyone for joining us. Please be reminded that you can drop your questions in the chat. We have people on standby to address them. So like my colleague Stanley had mentioned, some of the problems we see in the African space include numerous unintegrated systems, revenue leakages, lack of cooperation between departments, and many more. So now we would like to take a poll. And the aim of this poll is to get your feedback, to know what are the problems that you see in your own business. Is it, for example, cost? Probably due to the cost of the ERP, you're not able to purchase one. Or have you implemented an ERP system before? Or due to some reason like lack of training, you are not using the system? Please let us know in the poll. So what we see is that when people have problems, they try to remedy it themselves. And then one of the remedies you see is that people use Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel is a very good tool. However, there are some limitations that you would not get with Excel, which an ERP system would give you. One of which is with Microsoft Excel, you cannot have the integration between the different processes as you would want it, unlike with using a different system. And then we see that people also try to use open source systems. Now, these systems might be relatively cheap, but the disadvantages with this system are numerous, including the fact that with open source systems, your data is available to all and sundry, and then no business would want their information to be available to the general public. Also, with open source system, also as a business, when working with applications, you want to use applications from trusted vendors, which you would not get with an open source system. And then finally, we see that some organizations go a step further to build their own solution to address their pending needs. But then building a solution, it requires a lot of time. And also when other needs arise in the future, because these systems were built to address a particular need, you see that the organization would have to build other solutions, thereby taking time in resolving the problem. Now, the similarity between these three remedies is that they are reactive. A problem has occurred, and so you are trying to resolve it. However, if you use an ERP system, it is a proactive step for addressing some of your future needs that would arise. All right, so what is an ERP system? It is a platform that companies use to manage and integrate every area of their business within a single system. So by using an ERP system, you're able to integrate your finance, for example, your supply chain, your production, your human resources, even your reporting needs can be addressed with an ERP system. So what this does is that it automatically eliminates any need for multiple unintegrated systems because you're using one system across all across all processes. This would also lead to communication within different processes, and you have a single source of truth. So now the question is, why should I consider an ERP system? The first is that it is time to go digital. Now, you agree with me that with the COVID-19 pandemic, we all saw the need for digitalization. Please, a reminder, kindly drop your questions in the chat. We have people on standby to address them. So because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we all saw the need for digitalization. So as a business, if you are still currently running manual processes, the time to move to an ERP system is now. Also, you want to make the right decision at the right time. And for you to be able to do this, you need real-time access to your information, which you would not get with a manual process. But an ERP system would help you achieve this. Also, automation. With ERP systems, you're able to automate your processes to increase productivity. Another reason why you should consider an ERP system is that you are growing. So for a fast-growing company, you want a system that can grow with you. You want a system that can accommodate your needs. And this and many more you would get with an ERP system. Also, for a growing system, you want to ensure that you are implementing best practices in your industry. So you would also get this with an ERP system. And finally, you are expanding. So for as you move into different countries, say Nigeria, for example, Ghana, for example, as you expand into different countries, you want visibility as a manager, as a business owner. You want to be able to monitor what is happening in the different countries. And the only way you can get this is by using an ERP system such that you can implement all your different subsidiaries within the same system. All right, so what are the benefits of an ERP system? While we have numerous benefits, we have decided to categorize them into three. The first is governance and compliance. With an ERP system, you're able to audit transactions, you're able to view change logs that shows you who did what the person did, when the activity was performed, and that way it gives you control to your business. Also, there is the three-way match. The three-way match, a typical example is your procure-to-pay process. Within the procure-to-pay process, we have the purchase order, we have the delivery, and then we have the invoice. Now, when these documents are posted, the system is going to match the three documents against each other to ensure consistency. And where there is inconsistent data, let's say, for example, the price changes, the system is going to flag it as an exemption. We would show this during the course of the demo. Also, within an organization, we would have different people doing different things. And so an ERP system allows you to be able to do segregation of duties, where you can assign roles to users and permissions based on what is required to carry out their day-to-day transaction. Then finally, under governance and compliance, we have account determination. So what this does is that it allows easy postings, automated postings for you, because you're able to assign the different accounts to the respective categories, and the system does the automation. Next, we have insights. With insights, you have accessibility to your data, and you're able to make informed decisions through the use of the information. One of the ways is through the material resource planning. With the material resource planning, you're able to forecast the items to procure based on previous demands from your customers, which you would get within the system. Also, production run. With the production run, you're able to automate the entire production process, and you can see all the ins and outs of the production. Then we have the financial statement. The financial statement gives us visibility into a company's performance. So you're able to run, for example, your statement of financial report on the system. You're able to run your cash flow. You're also able to run your income statements and many other reports that are automatically generated within the system. And you can run these reports within seconds. Then finally, under Insights, we have the vendor fulfillment history. So what this does is that it shows you the performance of your suppliers. So you can see, how long, we can see when you placed an order to a vendor, how long it took the vendor to deliver the items, and then to help you with your prioritization of your vendors when you want to purchase new items. Then finally, under the benefits, we have the automation. So first is workflows. You would agree with me that these days, everybody wants to be notified when they have activities that are pending. Yeah, so this can be achieved with workflows. And so with workflows, it eliminates any break in the entire process. So from wherever you are, once the notifications have been configured, you can be notified on activities that require your permissions. And then we have approvals. Workflows goes side by side with approvals. With approvals, you're able to put in place checks and balances. You want to ensure that documents are reviewed by the respective individuals before they are sent out. This can be done within the system. You can also set multi-step approvals. You can also define different approvals for each approval level that you define within the system. And then we have process automation. This is one of the major benefits of an ERP system. What this does is that it allows your users to focus on more revenue generating tasks by automating some of your process. You can achieve this with an ERP system. And finally, we have integrations. So you can integrate an ERP system with Microsoft Excel. So you'd agree with me that most finance people, most users are already familiar with Excel. So you can carry out some of your activities with Microsoft Excel, and by just clicking a button, it's automatically uploaded into the ERP system. You can also run your reports directly from Excel without having to even come into the system. Then we also have the time recording app. With the time recording app, so you can integrate the system with your clocking device. So in some companies, you would see that they have a clocking machine where you time in and time out. Now, so in most places, they use this information for payroll generation. This can be integrated with the ERP system so that the payroll generation process is seamless. We also have POS systems, point of sale. So a typical example is supermarkets. They have different point of sale machine. This can be integrated with the ERP system so that it feeds information from the system and also pulls information from the system. And finally, we have other third-party applications. So it's possible that within your organization, you already have existing applications that you still want to maintain. The good news is that these applications can be integrated with the ERP system so that you can get more value. All right, so next we're going to watch a video that further drives home the points about the ERP system and its benefits.
Business as we know it is no longer business as we know it. Today's companies must be more dynamic than ever before, able to anticipate change, make rapid, informed decisions, and recognize opportunities fast.
Modern ERP systems have built-in intelligent technologies, including AI, machine learning, and advanced analytics, to not only work with your business right now, but to support you wherever the future takes you.
With this depth of visibility, this level of real-time insight, companies can know not just what's happening across their business,
but why it's happening as it's happening.
With the power of intelligent digital technologies, today's ERPs are able to analyze, learn, and predict.
Letting business seize opportunities and spot risks faster than ever.
Across finance, manufacturing, supply chain, and all your core business systems.
Even just a few years ago, finance departments could spend weeks preparing reports.
Today's ERPs deliver a live, consolidated view of all financial data across the business.
Which means that reports and analytics are ready.
Now, not 2 weeks from now.
The financial data is live.
And you're running reports in real time.
A modern ERP system is the brains behind your company's digital transformation.
And when you make the move to digital, you have the responsiveness, speed, and resilience that you'll need to compete, grow, and succeed
from today on. So, really?
What are you waiting for?
All right, so we can classify ERP systems into two. We have the on-premise version, meaning that you purchase the servers yourself. They are hosted within your organization. And we have the cloud ERP, meaning that it's hosted in the cloud. Now, with the on-premise system, because it is hosted within your environment, you have full control of this system. You determine when the upgrades will be done. You determine the backup frequency and so many other things. With on-premise system, they are also capital intensive because you have to purchase these servers, which are not cheap. Yeah, and then for on-premise system, you're responsible for the hardware, you're responsible for the software updates, and also there is high data loss rates, yeah, when you compare it with its counterpart, which is the cloud ERP. With cloud ERP systems, you only pay for what you use. So it's based on a subscription model. You pay for what you use. It's not like the capital intensive option, which is the on-premise. Also, with cloud ERP system, it is hosted in the cloud vendor's data center. So your cloud vendor is responsible for your updates, responsible for securing the data, and there is high there's also lack of low data loss with the cloud ERP option. All right, so what are the benefits of a cloud ERP? First, we have the updates and upgrades are quick and painless. In most cases, they are totally handled by your vendor, by your cloud ERP vendor. So that automatically eliminates any hurdles that you have with your updates. And that also means that you would always use the latest version. Also, Cloud ERP offer more security and prevent data loss. With Cloud ERP, you have access to more business intelligence capabilities. You can make informed decision. You have options to generate different views of your reports within the system. And finally, for Cloud ERP, there are no upfront costs for hardware. So that eliminates any cost of purchasing the server and the time it takes in that. All right, so we just look at some of the statistics when it comes to ERP, and this is based on a research that was conducted by Oracle. So we can see that some of the people that implemented ERP, their goals were to achieve cost savings, better performance metrics, also improve efficiency in business transaction. We can also see that ERP helps them reduce IT costs by 40%. It reduced the inventory levels by 38% because they were able to plan ahead and not just buy things for buying sake. It also reduced their cycle time by 35%. So we can also see that ERP 85% had a projected timeline for ROI, and 82% achieved their ROI based on using an ERP system. All right, so what do we need to know about SAP? SAP is a market share leader in ERP, so they are known for creating ERP solutions. They are also known for other solutions like in travel and expense management, also HR solution. SAP customers worldwide generate 87% of the total global commerce. 97% of 100 greenest companies in the world run SAP. Approximately 80% of SAP's customers are SME. So this tells you as a person that if you are thinking, for example, that I might not be able to achieve it, yeah, so 80% of their customers are small and medium enterprise. That means the solution is suited for you. All right. Also, they have over 110,000 employees in over 160 countries. So that tells you that it's a global brand. Yeah, it's not just restricted to Nigeria or Ghana. It is used in over 160 countries. They have also more than 22,000 partners implementing the solutions worldwide. And they are the #1 software company in Dow Jones Sustainability Index for 15 years consecutively. Now, we'd like to present to you some of the best ERP systems we have in the market today. But before I say that, please be reminded that you can drop your questions in the chat. We have people on standby to address them. So some of the best ERP systems we have in some of the best ERP systems we have in the market are, we have SAP Business One, which is meant for the small businesses. We have SAP Business by Design, which is meant for the medium businesses. And we also have the SAP S/4HANA Cloud, which is meant for the large enterprises. So wherever you fit in this pyramid, there is a system that is available and can meet your needs. So it would help you to be able to have visibility across all areas of your system. You're able to generate reports easily. And also the system has been created to follow the industry best practices. Now, I would like to tell you about our winning strategy at Digitank. So with Digitank Technology, we know that every customer is different, every customer is unique. And so before we begin engagement with you, we would like to have a discovery call and an assessment. So what we do on this call is to know your needs. What are the things you're trying to achieve? Oh, do you want to automate your processes? Do you want to reduce the time it takes, your customer delivery time? Do you want to reduce your report generation time? And so many other needs that you might have. So within this call, we would have within this call, we would understand your business need. We would listen to you, and then we'll pen down these requirements. After this, we would propose a system to you based on the needs, based on your availability of a budget, for example, and so many other criteria that we would consider. We would propose an ERP system to you. And then once the system has been proposed, we will schedule a demonstration of the system. Within the demonstration of the system, we would showcase some of the needs that you have mentioned over the call to say, okay, this is how the system can resolve this, this is how the system can resolve this, and many others. Now, once the demonstration has been done and you're satisfied with the demonstration, we can then move to the proposal stage. And within the proposal stage, this is where we would have a written documentation of the system, its capabilities, the number of users that will be using the system based on our discussions, and many other information will be contained in the proposal. Once the proposal is signed and sealed, we will begin the implementation. So first, the implementation methodology we would follow is based on the industry standard, based on the recommendation by the OEMs, that's your original equipment manufacturers, based on their recommendations, be it the accelerated implementation program, for example, or the launch or activate methodology. So dependent on the solution that we are implementing, we would follow the best practices that has been provided. Once the implementation is done, we would do training. So I discovered in some of the polls that some of the users said the reason they are not using an ERP today is because of lack of adequate training. So be rest assured that Digitank would give you proper training at no cost. We will train your users to be able to use the system. We would also have a hand-holding session where we would be with them till they are comfortable with using the system. So we'll guide them, we'll be there side by side, guiding them to ensure that they are able to use the system comfortably. Once we are done with this phase, we would have the post-implementation support. So we're not just going to leave you to say, okay, now we have implemented and we'll go. No, we're going to stay with you to provide support as you go. So if, for example, you need support in a particular area, we're available to provide post-implementation support. And finally, we have the benefit realization. So even after we are done with the implementation, even after we are done with the training, we would not just leave it there. We would also look for other ways that you can get value from the system. That falls under the benefit realization. All right, so now we would like to have the second poll. And what we basically want to do is to know what are the areas of your business that you would want automated. Is it your finance, for example, the logistics, your human resources, your production, your reports? Do you want to be able to generate reports automatically from the system? Please let us know with the poll. And it's possible that you want all areas. You want reporting, you want human resources, you want production, you want workflows, you want to automate your processes. Please let us know using the poll. All right, so I can see our responses already. So now we'll switch over to the system to have a demonstration. All right, so as you can see, this is one of the SAP business. This is one of the SAP solutions, one of the best ERPs, which we already talked about. This is SAP Business by Design, and it is suited for the mid enterprises. So I'm just going to showcase some of the benefits that we already discussed during the presentation. All right, so first off, when you log into the system, you would see the launchpad, and within the launchpad, you're able to see the open activities, the bids, alerts, tags, notifications or clarifications. All this can be visible within the launchpad. You also have the option to personalize your view. So if probably there are some things you want to see once you log into the system, every individual has that option. And then we have the mobile barcode. So SAP has mobile apps that allows you carry out your activities on the go. So you want to do approvals, for example, and you're not within the organization, that should not be a problem. From wherever you are with the mobile app, you can carry out your approvals. If you're a salesperson and you are on the go, you probably meet a new lead, you want to document the information within the system. This can also be achieved with the mobile app. And there are other functionalities that you can get by using the mobile app. So by scanning the barcode, you'll be able to download the mobile application that's available. So first, I'd like to showcase the document flow within the system. The document flow allows you to see the end-to-end of your business process. So you're able to see the originating document. You can also see where you are within a process. And then with the document flow, if you have the rights, if you have given the necessary permissions, you can also drill down into the individual documents to see what it entails. So we can see here the document flow. You can see the originating documents. You can see where we are currently. You can also scroll down to see the extended view of the document flow. You can see the extended view. And if you have the necessary permissions, you can also click into any of these documents to view what is contained in it. Within the Changes tab, you're able to track and audit different users within the system. So you can always filter by the options we have there. Then if you scroll down, you'll be able to see the different changes that were made by this user. So this would help you with your auditing process. You can also set up approval process on the system. By setting up approval process, you put in place checks and balances so that documents are reviewed before they are sent out to your supplier, for example, within the system. So you can see that this document has been sent for approval. So pending when this document is approved, the user will not be able to make changes to it. You can also define multi-levels of approvals. You can define different approvals within the system. All right, so next I'll be showing the three-way match. Within the three-way match, you're able to see, like I mentioned during the presentation, the system does the three-way match to compare different documents. And I gave an example of the procure-to-pay process. And so what the system ensures is that there are consistencies within your process. So in a case where there is inconsistency, the system would flag it as an exception. So we can see that here, that because of a missing delivery documents, the system had created a task, and we can see the priority high, which will be displayed on the user's launchpad. And then if you scroll down, you'll be able to see the reason for the exception, missing documents, meaning that the delivery document is not available, and so we cannot process the supplier's invoice. So what the user would do would now compare and reach out to the supplier to find out if they have delivered before processing the supplier. You can also define a different asset approval process for exception handling. So probably you want somebody else to resolve the issues when you have exceptions like this. This can be done within the system. Now, the system has a lot of standard reports. In fact, every area within the system has reports. However, for this demonstration, I'll be showing the financial statements. Please note that you can also create standard reports within the system. You can also create custom systems. For example, you have peculiar needs that you think the system will not be able to address. No problem. The report is that you can always create ours within the system. All right. So we can see the financial statements. So this is the balance sheet. This is the statement of financial position, the income statement. All this can be generated within the system by the click of a button. All right, so we can see the report, we can see the different categories. We can also expand to view the different categories. The beauty about the system is also when it comes to report generation, you can also define your own view. So if, for example, you want to change the way the report is displayed, you want to add your own columns, you want to subtract, you can do that and even save it as a personalized view. So that for every time you run this report, it would be displayed based on your own selections. You can download this report, you can download it from here in Microsoft Excel. You can even open it directly from Microsoft Excel. You can send it as an email to a user or to an external party from within the system. All right, so next we'll go into production. So within the system, you can automate the production process. So for the demonstration, because of time constraints, we had created a production document from start to finish. So we can see a production order from here. If you go into the document flow, which is similar to what we saw within the procure process, we'll be able to see the end-to-end of the production process. So we can see the production planning, we can see the document that was created, we can see the production order, we can see the warehouse request, which is for the movement of the goods. And if you scroll down, we can also see the production tax that was generated as a result. You can also generate, you can also run reports within the system. Like also within the system, when it comes to production, you can have different bill of material, multiple variants of a bill of material. So a bill of material, what it does basically is it lists the raw materials that are required to produce a finished item. It puts, you'd also state, for example, the quantities required. So within the system, you can have multi bill of material. So in a case where you have different variants of a product, this can be defined within the system. And at the point of production, you can select the appropriate bill of material. Then finally, I'll be showing us the material planning where the system compares your demand against your supply. And then based on that, system tells us, oh, we have so and so demand. We need to buy so and so number of this product to be able to meet up with this demand. All right, so we can see here. So if you scroll down, we'll see that the customer demand. So we can see the customer demand, and we can see total supply, and then we can see that the supply is greater than the demand. In a case where it was the reverse, the system would propose that we buy more quantities. Then if you scroll down, we can also see different proposals that was generated automatically by the system based on the information contained. All right, so as you can see, we have seen the three-way match. We have also seen the document flow that shows us the end-to-end process of the production as well as the production as well as the procurement process. We have also seen the production order on the system and many other benefits that we stand to get by using an ERP system. So at this point, we would like to entertain your questions. So I'm just going to go through the chat to see if there are questions there that have not been answered, and I would answer them. All right, so I see a question from Ismail Shorunke. So is it possible to restrict access to the cloud SAP to a particular IP address that can only be accessed on a company's local network? So I think when it comes to cloud ERP, they are usually hosted by the cloud provider. So you only subscribe to it. Yeah. And so sometimes you don't have access to this kind of restrictions. The cloud storage function of the system. So with an ERP system, you don't have to bother about storage. And the reason is because the cloud provider provides everything for you. So you don't have to think of databases, or do I have to get database? That is different. With on-premise, yes, you have to think of that. But with cloud, you have unlimited storage for your data. The cloud provider would have provided you with more than enough storage to accommodate your current data and also your data growth. So as the data grows, you have the cloud provider has the capability to accommodate your storage needs. Yeah, so currently for SAP Business by Design, as an example, we have people that have been using the system for more than 5-6 years. And so you can think of the kind of data that they will have, and they've not complained of storage. So that is just to say that the cloud storage will be provided for you. So I see another question. Do we need to change our entire organizational technology to ERP and throw away all systems? So when it comes to ERP implementation, you don't just throw it all away. So within the implementation, there is the phase out stage. What this means is that gradually you will stop using those old legacy systems. But then before you think of throwing out your system, I would say that for Anthony, please reach out to us. We would like to know some of the systems you're using. We would like to know some of your needs. Yeah, and then we can advise you accordingly. All right, so I'll be taking the last question from inquiry because of our time, and then we would move on with the presentation. Can the customer decide to host the SAP with their own cloud services provider? So it's dependent on the type of SAP ERP system that you select. For some, yes, you can choose your cloud provider, while for some, you cannot because it is hosted in SAP's data center. So it depends on the one you select. For cloud subscription, can we have access to our database? So that can be discussed with the OEM. However, you would have access to all your data that you put into the system. All right, so that's the amount of questions we can take because of our time. So the next step would be, first of all, to schedule a discovery call. So before you can even decide that, you want to throw away your systems, before you can decide that, before you can even decide on the ERP system to use so that you can get value, we would say that you should schedule a discovery call or an envisioning session. And you can do this with our website. Yeah, there's a portion of our website where you can schedule this call. Within this call, we'll listen to you, know your needs, your requirements, know your existing systems, and then we can advise you. Now, if you already have this documented, you already have everything, you can just go ahead and book a free demo session, but would require that you send us a list of requirements so that we can know the solution to demonstrate to you. And please note that this demonstration is free of charge. So you can actually ask for a demo session. It is free of charge. You can also visit our website to know more about us. I'll be showing that in a coming slide. And you can please follow us on LinkedIn and other social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, to be informed of upcoming webinars and also physical events that we might be having in your location across all our other solution portfolios. All right, thank you very much. And please contact us. Thank you.
Thank you, Finn. Thank you, Finn. Thank you, Finn. Thank you, Finn. Thank you, Stanley. So I told you it was going to be an educative session. I think we can give them a thumbs up. Give them a thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. So I realize from what we are getting from the audience, it looks like I'll do something for you. We can do a second webinar for you. It will be more interactive so that we can get to know all your pain points and see how best we can make all those pain points into opportunities for you. The whole idea is to come up with an integrated solution that will comprise of your finance, your HR, your procurement, your manufacturing, production, all these things into bundle solution, and for top level management to get stability when it comes to decision making. So there'll be a part 2. Let's keep our fingers crossed, and information will reach out to you as well. Most of the time, there is always regrets when you see the potential of what your company could have been in the future as a result of a decision you didn't make now. And so by the good decisions we make now, by working smart, the future becomes cheap. Without wasting much time, I want to see, let's quickly look at the results from the polls. Okay, so what are the biggest challenges when it comes to the operations today? We saw 33% saying the cost of ERP, poor user experience, had 11% complex systems, and negligence of services. So what we are going to do for you is we can have an innovation session. As I said, the hallmark of our business has always been with building the capacity of our clients. But when it comes to costs, there is always a flexible payment plan. We can talk about that as well. Then the last poll was, let me quickly look at this. What are the key areas of your business that you want to be automated? We had 20% saying finance, 22% saying human resource, 22 saying reporting, and 11 saying logistics, 11 saying production as well. Our philosophy hasn't changed. As I said, we'll have an innovation session whereby there'll be a lot of capacity building when it comes to these areas. We'll make sure everybody's wants or everybody's need is attacked or satisfied during the session. Also, we have a YouTube channel whereby a lot of information is always placed there. Just type Digitank when you open your YouTube on your browser, and we'll come just subscribe to it. There is a daily info or weekly info when it comes to our ERP solutions and all the things we provide as well. So I believe all questions have been answered. A link will be shared on the chat. Let us know how you fared during this webinar. We want to improve on the positives and also work on what didn't work for us. Yes. Thank you all for, I realize none of you left. You've been on this session since the beginning to the end. I want to appreciate you all. Thank you all for your time for this session. Let's all have a nice day. Thank you, everyone. Bye.